Good morning to all my fellow Americans here once again. Today is Monday, the 24th, 2020.
I pledge allegiance.
There's a lot going on. Some of them are, like always, some disturbing news, like these protesters. It's just terrible what's happening. I want to send a salute to all my fellow American veterans of the DAV and to all veterans of all organizations. And never forget those who have fallen, given the ultimate sacrifice in order to keep our country free, which now the Democrats are determined to destroy. The Democrats, which is now officially a terrorist organization. And if you're going to boycott, don't boycott Goya products. Boycott the Democrats. Goya products are great products. I always buy them. They're quality products, and the creator of this product is a true American who loves this country, loves our president, loves our Constitution and our flag. So let's buy Goya products. If it's Goya, they have to be good, and believe me, they are. Another thing, Florida, don't forget to vote for Maria Elvira Salazar for Congress. She'll put a stop to these terrorists who are trying to take over our nation. Also, Donald Trump, just like we did with Venezuela, where we named Juan Guaido as president without elections. We froze the accounts of the communists and passed all the money to Juan Guaido so he can administrate it. Let's do the same thing with Cuba. It's about time we do the same thing with the communists in Cuba, who has done the same thing, but worse, for over 61 years. Let's freeze their accounts, recognize FAPACO as a legitimate organization, and name the leader, Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia, as president of the Republic of Cuba, and have him administrate the money. He loves his country, he wants it free. And after Cuba is free, we can request free elections. So let's do that in the meantime. Let's see what's going on here. There's a lot. There's some I can't just, well, people are fed up with de Blasio. Conservatives are just fed up with de Blasio. Let's see what this group of conservative patriots have done in New York. Wow. I don't want to say the word, but they just F you, de Blasio. Hundreds gathered outside City Hall to protest. People are getting sick and tired of this guy. This guy's a communist.
Let us go back to normality of life. I pray God's hand upon us all. I pray for God to have mercy on everyone. He says, F you. F you to the working man. F you to the businessman. F you. Every day he says that. Today, we say, F me? No. F you! F me? No. F you, de Blasio.
Yeah, David, a top NYPD official today said police officers are holding back on some enforcement efforts after weeks of protests. This as violence is skyrocketing, with some innocent victims caught in the crossfire. Stepping back on enforcement.
There's something really wrong when indoor dining is not okay, but mass protests bashing the police are okay. Protesters were saying things like what sex acts they'd like the cops to perform on them. The protesters were saying things to the cop like F you. The protesters, almost overwhelmingly, quite. We've had enough. We know how New York City is supposed to function, and it will function again. Murders are up in the city, burglaries are up in the city, and grand larcenies of auto are up in the city. Nothing. It's doing nothing. Bringing America back. Fuck out of here. We're bringing America back. Fuck the Blasco. You can suck a dick.
No to socialism. Say no to communism. This is America, the greatest country in the world. And we are going to fight for her. And we are going to stop them from trying to destroy her from within. Let's make sure that we keep America free. All right? That's the most important thing. Still here. Still here in this country, in this city, the very
There you go. That's proof. People are fed up. Who needs to be in prison are these people that are destroying these cities, these communist terrorist supporters. They should be in prison, like Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Nadler, many others, including those of the cities, de Blasio, Lori Lightfoot, and many, and from California, Gavin Newsom. They should be in prison. They should be arrested and in prison. They should be locked up, just like they were saying there. Stop. Enough is enough. Maxine Ward is another one. They should all be locked up. They're the ones who should be locked up, not the conservatives who are trying to defend our country, our patriotism, preserve it. Okay, let's see what here. I want to go with this one. I want you to see what's happening, what's really happening here in this country. The one who's financing all these crimes, there's only this one name that comes to mind, George Soros.
Violent criminals are being released back onto the streets and cities across
See that?
America thanks to district attorneys that were bought and paid for by George Soros. Here's One America's Pearson Sharp.
As riots erupt across the nation, one man is emerging as the face behind the violence: George Soros. The radical left-wing billionaire who's been declared an enemy of the state in his home country of Hungary has poured over $220 million into domestic terrorist organizations like Black Lives Matter. And thanks to Soros's work reforming the criminal justice system, these fascists are being released right back onto the streets as soon as they're arrested. And to do that, he's literally buying district attorneys in cities across the nation. These DAs are usually highly unqualified, such as the 2018 candidate for a district attorney that he spent millions backing in San Diego, Genevieve Jones-Wright. Normally, these unqualified DAs wouldn't stand a chance against someone like Summer Stephan in San Diego, who has had decades of experience and is very popular with her community and with police for being someone fair and trustworthy. But with a few $1 million help from George Soros, all that changes, and you suddenly have a candidate whose only experience as a public defender trying to keep criminals out of jail. That's how you end up with DAs like Kim Foxx in Cook County, Illinois. She won her election with money from Soros and then pushed through policies like not charging shoplifters who stole less than $1,000, which of course saw a massive surge in shoplifting. If only someone could have seen that coming. She's also the same woman who disgraced herself with the mishandling of the Jussie Smollett's hate crime hoax against himself last year. Soros also wants to degrade our quality of life here in America. We live too nice, too comfortably. We should feel guilty for living better than people in the third world countries. If they can't live in clean cities, Francisco is a perfect example of this. We all know how the city has become a byword for degeneration, crime, homelessness, and filthy streets. So Soros gets people like San Francisco DA Chesa Boudin, who refuses to prosecute people for peeing or defecating in the streets. Imagine that. But what would you expect from a guy who was raised by parents who were not only members of the left-wing terrorist group, it really is a terrorist group, I'm not just being dramatic, but were also convicted for murdering 2 police officers and a security guard? You can't make this up. He stated in his campaign that he will not prosecute people for camping in the streets or blocking sidewalks or even soliciting public sex. And he's also on board for defunding the police. Of course, why would you need them? They aren't even allowed to do their jobs. And then you have St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, whose campaign got major boosting from Soros and who announced she was bringing felony charges against Mark and Patricia McCloskey. These are the people Soros and the Democrats want to be in charge of our justice system. Is it any wonder that you have entire cities now burning down and criminals running free? This is the Democratic Party. And unless George Soros is stopped by a legal system brave enough to challenge his treasonous activities, he will continue promoting and installing puppet district attorneys across the country, ensuring that every neighborhood in America will soon look like this. For One America News, I'm Pearson Sharp.
Want to see more videos like this?
Remember,
Click
this is
on the
for
link
One
below
American
and
News.
subscribe to One American
I'm
News
not
on
violating
YouTube.
the
And
privacy
call your
because
cable
they
provider and
on
kindly
YouTube
demand
to
that
share
One American
clearly
News
says
is
share.
added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.
Another thing, these people will sell their soul to the devil. They have no conscience, and including some of the Republicans that are sided with Biden. Okay, let me see if I could go to one last one. Okay. I'm going to leave with this last one. So God bless you all. Like I always say, Donald Trump, I always pray for you and your family. God bless you. God bless Mike Pence and his family. And may God protect both of you, both of your families. I stand with God in Israel eternally. God bless our country eternally. So I'll see you soon. Goodbye. God bless. I'll see you later.
heard it again.
When people experience disembodied voices, it may be like a tape loop. You're just tapping into something from the past repeating, or it could be trying to be interactive.
Hello? Is there anyone out there?
I was really creeped out.
Hello?
I wanted to make sure that there was nobody trespassing. So I started to go in stealth mode and try to catch him.
You better be on your guard from this point because something unusual has just happened. This is absolutely a warning.
He follows the sound of footsteps leading down to the oldest part of the building, the basement.
I did not want to go down there at night by myself and the only one in the building. Then all of a sudden I just heard kind of tapping noises. It kind of sounded like somebody was knocking on a brick wall. There was like something there that I'm not seeing. I could feel its presence.
That something draws Jerry towards one of the old storage rooms and gets his complete attention.
I was just completely terrified. But what I didn't know is things were gonna get worse.
In an old South hotel tainted by a long, violent past,
Hello?
Chef Jerry Timms has become the plaything of something unholy.
I felt scared. I thought there's something there, and no one was there.
Something is not quite ready to show itself.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before, and I just wanted to get out of there.
If you are not a believer, your first contact with the other world, with the paranormal, is nothing short of life-altering. It can be traumatic, it can be devastating.
I went back in the kitchen, finished everything that I could as fast as I could, and that was my very first experience with something I couldn't explain there.
When you're a spirit and you're alone in this cold, dark existence of nothingness, when you reach out to somebody and you make that connection, there's a lot of things that can happen.
And none of them are good. Next time Jerry is forced to go down to the basement,
All right, let's get these tables cleared.
Yeah.
he makes sure he's not alone.
Matt, grab that one. We'll be back to help you in a minute.
We were breaking down our tables, and we were carrying him all the way down the long hall to the other side of the hotel.
The two-person job comes with some unexpected help.
Who helped you carry that?
I thought you did. What?
He says, well, I felt the back end of the table lift up, so I thought one of you were helping me carry it.
Here. A second ago. What?
But there was nobody but him.
Something in a shadowy corner of this hotel is toying with Jerry.
is an amazing way to get your attention.
For a spirit to carry its own weight in that regard, it has to be something very, very strong.
This is a huge red flag.
And you better pay attention to it.
But what I didn't know is things were going to get a lot more frightening.
Came from up here, right?